who everyone who couldn't join us live will also get the recording. So welcome to Learn Self-Hypnosis. We're going to dive right in. I do have a cheat sheet here because even though I have taught this class many times, I just never want to skip anything. So I do have notes. I thank you guys for joining me here today. There are lots of different methods of self-hypnosis. I am teaching you one method today. It's not my method as in I invented it, but it is the method that I use. It's the first method that I ever experienced. It's what I teach all my one-on-one clients, and it's my personal favorite. So this is what I'm using today. So in self-hypnosis, we're organizing our thinking. We're not clearing our mind, we're programming our mind. So when it comes to self-hypnosis, you're kind of following two laws. That's the law of association. So meaning you're going to follow the practices that we're doing here today, as well as it can be nice to when you're first learning, kind of practice in the same spot all the time. So you have an association also to this is the spot where I kind of get cozy and focus. I actually do recommend though that you practice in multiple locations, but we'll talk about that later. Also the law of repetition, meaning the more you do it, the better it gets. It is a muscle just like everything else. You can't just use it one time and have magical results. The more you do it, the stronger it becomes. And I definitely know this in my own life because when I first learned self-hypnosis, I thought it was great. I thought I was going to do so many things with it. And then, yeah, I never used it for probably like a year. And then I was going to teach it as a class. And I thought, well, I better brush up. And I still didn't keep it up very consistently. And about 9 months after that, I did start practicing self-hypnosis 3 times a day for 20 minutes at a time. So it was an hour a day, but I broke it up. I had a very busy life at that time, so I couldn't just be sitting in hypnosis for an hour. Um, and I kept that up for many months, and I created a lot of things in my life. That's something for a whole nother video, probably, but it's really great. So the power is in doing it over and over, using the same words over and over, and building that momentum. So if you have been hypnotized before, um, it's gonna feel different than if you well, it feels different to do it to yourself than it does to work with a hypnotherapist. So it's not going to feel the same. So please don't expect it to. It's still going to feel great. It's not going to be exactly the same. I recommend that you do not practice in bed unless you're using it to help you fall asleep. So if you have insomnia, please go ahead. Otherwise, please use something else other than your bed. It's best if you're in a semi-comfortable position. This is so that we don't fall asleep. If you fall asleep, you cannot give yourself suggestions. So now you're just sleeping. You're not doing hypnosis anymore. So if you have a high-backed chair, semi-prone is best. My chair today is actually a bad example because if I were to relax completely, my head is going to hyperextend. Um, so you don't want that. So semi-comfortable, but with support so that if you get really relaxed, you don't let your neck fall back and injure yourself. I do recommend practicing in different places so that you have the power to practice self-hypnosis anytime you need to. After several years of practicing myself, I can put myself in self-hypnosis in like I can do it right now. It's very quick for me. I don't need to follow the full official process anymore. I can do it anywhere. But I do recommend that you don't do it in your car, not your driver's seat and not your passenger seat. I do have some clients who like to practice self-hypnosis on their breaks or whatnot from work. So sit in the back seat if you're going to do that. And we don't accidentally. Also, it goes right into my next point. Don't use it while you're driving, please. We want to be. And do not practice self-hypnosis if you're feeling overly depressed or overly negative. So if you're just having a rough day and you need a bit of a pick-me-up, self-hypnosis can be wonderful. If you are not feeling your best, you're feeling kind of down, that is a great time to work with a professional, either a professional hypnotherapist or another mental health professional, because you don't want to be giving yourself negative suggestions. Okay. So before we go into the actual process, if you would like to pop anything into the chat. Earlier, a couple of us were talking about some general goals for confidence. I know somebody who said they wanted the replay was talking about rest or not feeling exhausted by all the things she has to do. So if you have a kind of specific goal that you're interested in with self-hypnosis, improved sleep, improved self-esteem, weight loss, motivation, confidence, if you would like to pop it into the chat, or you can message it directly to me if you don't want to pop it into the chat. But if you would like to, um, then when we get to that part, I can kind of help you come up with some tailored suggestions so that it's most effective for you. But I'm also going to talk to you about how to come up with how you talk to yourself. So you'll be able to do that. But that just makes it a little fun and unique for those of us who are here live. And now, without further ado, what I like to do to start, since I don't know everyone's experience, is I'm gonna take everyone through a bit of a progressive relaxation so that we can just get into the mode. Some of you I know have done hypnosis before, so you kind of know what to expect, but it's always fun to have someone else doing it for you. So we're gonna start with that. So if you would like to go ahead and close your eyes, if you're in a place that's safe and comfortable for you to do so, of course, hopefully all of you can prepared for this. And just get yourself comfortable. Maybe feel your feet on the floor or whatever part of you is connected to something else. So feet flat on the floor, or if you're lying down on a couch, that's fine, but make sure you're a little propped up so you don't fall asleep. And maybe just take in 3 nice, comfortable breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just let go. Let go of whatever it took to bring you here today. Let go of the day, the week, the month, or even the year. Just following your breath through your body and allowing yourself to be right here, right now. There's nothing that you need to do right now and nowhere that you need to be. This is your time. So allow yourself to just settle in deeply and to enjoy this deep, comfortable relaxation. Maybe starting at the top of your head, focusing your attention on the top of your head, and just allow a sensation to develop there. It might feel like a warmth or a tingling or just a soothing, comfortable, relaxing feeling. Just allow this comfortable feeling to flow down over your body. Maybe imagining that all around you is like a healing light of whatever color you choose. So when you inhale, you're inhaling this healing light, pure positive energy, health, and well-being. And on the exhale, you're exhaling out any stress, anxieties, worries, or concerns. We're just setting this up as an unconscious programming in the subconscious mind. So whether you think about it or not, when you inhale, you're inhaling pure positive energy, health, and well-being. On the exhale, you're exhaling out any stress, anxiety, worries, or concerns. And just allowing this relaxation to flow down over your forehead and down over your eyelids, maybe imagining like your eyes are resting on two tiny little pillows at the back of your head. Letting all the muscles in the face relax, the cheeks, the mouth, the jaw, the tongue may drop away from the roof of the mouth, the teeth may part. You may even feel a desire to swallow, and if you feel that desire to swallow, you can think the word deeper silently to yourself. And this soothing, comfortable, relaxing, resourceful feeling continues to flow down through the neck and the throat, down over the shoulders. You can release from your shoulders anything that's been burdening you, anything that you've been holding on to for far too long. And you can release and let go of what no longer serves you. And this soothing, comfortable, relaxing feeling continues to flow down over the forearms, the elbows, the wrists, the hands, the fingertips, feeling a wonderful tingling sensation all through your fingertips. It flows down the front side and back side of body, the heart, the stomach, the hips, the thighs, and over the knees, around the knees, through the knees, as you concentrate only on the sound of my voice. Pay no attention to any sound outside. They're just everyday sounds of life. They cannot distract or disturb you, but will tend to relax you and allow you to go even deeper into this deep, comfortable relaxation. Releasing, relaxing, unwinding all the muscles in the legs, the shins, the calves, the ankles, the tops of the feet. And finally, this relaxation flows over your toes. And as I count backwards from 5 down to 0, each count may represent an even deeper relaxation. And when I reach 0, you will go deep asleep. At 5, letting go. Drifting down to 4. Floating down to 3, 2, 1. And 0 is that deep sleep. Well, now in a moment, I'm going to wake you back up so we can start to learn self-hypnosis together. But don't worry, you'll be back in a very comfortable state, just like this, very soon. And I'm going to count you up using a count from 0 up to 5. And 5 will be eyes open and wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open and wide, wide awake. And friends that are not on video, hopefully you are also awake because I cannot see it. But that's a short one. So now you get a little taste. If you're not familiar with what it feels like, that's like a little taster. And now you're going to get to do it for yourself. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to do the whole thing with you twice at least. So the first time I'm going to be guiding you through step by step. I'm going to be telling you what to do and helping you do it. And then the second time we do it, I will tell you what to do and you'll be doing it for yourself. And I'll just tell you, now do this, and I'll be waiting. And then hopefully if we have enough time, I will refresh all the steps when you are awake. I do have a handout. I just need to copy and paste it onto my new letterhead because I discovered it's on my old letterhead, but I do have a little sheet that I can email you afterwards. So I'll email that probably tomorrow with the recording because I do have clients after this. So I'll send the recording. You'll have the recording by the end of the day tomorrow at the latest. And please, if you don't get your recording, please check your spam or please email me. Okay. All right, so now your turn. You're going to get to do some of the work this time. So again, it's great if you are sitting up straight. It can be nice to have your feet flat on the floor, just so you have that kind of grounding and you feel very stable in your body. If you are lying down, that's okay, but make sure you're not completely flat, propped up a little bit. And the way you're going to start is by taking your eyes and just focusing on one single spot. So if there's something in the room with you that's very beautiful to look at, like me, right in front of my desk, I have a beautiful painting of the beach. Well, it's not really a painting, it's a canvas photo print, photo I took actually. And right towards the center of that is like a beautiful little key part of the photo that's very nice to focus the eyes on. So just look at one thing. It can just be a spot on the wall, but something beautiful in the room is more fun. And just keeping your eyes on the one spot, you're going to take in 3 nice, comfortable breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And at the end of the 3rd exhale, you're going to gently allow your eyes to close. Once your eyes are closed, just feel the rhythm of the breath. And just give yourself permission to allow me to guide you through the process of self-hypnosis. So in your own mind, in your own words, give yourself that permission now. And now you're just going to, once again, focus at the top of your head. So with the eyes closed, focusing on your breathing, draw your attention to the top of the head and just allow that relaxation or comfort, however you want to think about it. Maybe it's like a very healing shower of crystal clear water that's the perfect temperature for you. Just allow this comfortable, relaxing sensation to flow down over the top of your head, down over your forehead, your eyes, your eyelids. Maybe once again, imagining like your eyes are resting on 2 tiny little pillows at the back of your head. Relaxing through the face, the jaw, the tongue, the teeth. Let the facial muscles soften. Relaxing through the neck. Seeing if you can draw the shoulders down and away from the ears. Releasing in the shoulders, just letting go. Letting go of whatever is going on in your personal life, whatever it took to get you here today. Whatever's been weighing you down, just put it aside for a moment. Relaxing all down the arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the hands, and the fingertips. Relaxing all down the front and the back side of body, the heart, the upper back, the lower back, the chest, the stomach, the abdomen, relaxing in the hips and the thighs and the knees, through the knees, around the knees, over the knees, and over the calves, the shins, the ankles, and down over the tops of the feet. Finally, allowing this relaxation to flow over the toes. And And I'm going to be reading you a list of words. And these are words to describe how it feels physically to be in this relaxed state. Now, it's just the word that you relate to the most physically to help you trigger the health self-hypnosis state. There might not be a perfect word for you, but you're just going to pick the word that's close enough. And I'm going to read the list of words twice. So here we go. Heavy, floating, relaxation, lightness, loose, tingling, limp. And I'll read the list of words again. Heavy, floating, relaxation, lightness, loose, tingling, limp. Again, there might not be a perfect word, but in your mind, just choose the word that's best for you to describe this feeling. And we're going to count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And now I would like you to think about the very wonderful, emotional, positive feeling on the inside when you're in this state. And again, I'm going to read you a list of words to describe how it feels emotionally to be in this state. You're just picking the word that you respond to or relate to the most emotionally. And I'll read the list of words twice. Calmness, confidence, success, happiness, joy, contentment, peace. And I'll read the list again. Calmness, confidence, success, happiness, joy, contentment, peace. Now, in your mind, in your imagination, you're going to imagine either that you're walking down a symbolic staircase of 20 steps, or that you're walking down a beautiful path of 20 steps. You can decide. And each step down the staircase or down this path is going to reinforce this physical and emotional feeling. And then at 0, you're going to say in your mind, deep sleep. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0 is the deep sleep. Now, in your mind, you have a word for how it feels physically and a word for how it feels emotionally. And then you have the intellectual keyword, deep sleep. And now at this point, you will give yourself the ideas that you have prepared for yourself with feeling and with emotion several times. You're gonna remember to work on one thing at a time. So you might say things like, I am relaxed in allowing success to come to me. Each and every day, I am calm, secure, and relaxed. I'm receiving cash and income from new and exciting sources. Each and every day, I accept myself for who I am, etc., etc. We'll talk maybe more about that later. But for now, I'm going to awaken you the same way that you will awaken yourself, which is using a count from 0 up to 5 and then saying eyes open, wide awake. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open and wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, wide awake. I usually ask if anyone needs the words repeated, the list, because you're going to use your word. I also forgot to mention beforehand that maybe you would want to be able to write it down. So you can pop it in the chat or you can wave. I don't know if you can do that hand raising thing, but if anyone needs the words reread, I can reread them. If not, then we're off to the next thing. Okay, so before we go through it again, the emotional part is what drives your car. So you can push yourself in self-hypnosis and sit there and just be saying, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. It ain't gonna work. I got news for you. No matter how much I tell myself, I am rich. If that's the mode that I use, that's the tone that I use. As soon as I get out of self-hypnosis and I have to pay my bills or I have to look at my bank account, guess what? I am not rich. So, for example, there's a difference between sitting there and just reciting, I am rich over and over, and saying, I always have more than enough money. Because I always have more than enough money can be true, even if I would like that money to be more abundant than it is. If I had enough to pay all my bills and I still have a little extra, then I have more than enough. So that kind of shifts it a little bit. So when you're in self-hypnosis, it's very important that you have kind of prepared. It's great to have a whole list of things that you would want to work on, but we can't change our whole life in a day. So it helps us to focus on one thing to start, something that's measurable, like eating better or sleeping or confidence or productivity, and kind of prepare for that. Um, you can always just look it up, like look up affirmations for money or affirmations for confidence or et cetera, and then find something that kind of resonates, that sounds good to you when you say it. Um, like I love the I am relaxed in allowing success to come to me because a lot of times I am not a relaxed person. So that that is a nice suggestion for myself. Um, so you can um, put those you can look those up and kind of put them in your own words. If you need help, I love helping come up with suggestions. So you can always shoot me an email and be like, hey, I was at your class and this is what I'm working on and I need some help. And there are a couple examples on the handout that I'm going to send. So just keep that in the back of your mind. We're still not going to do any straight up um, actual suggestions today because it's self-hypnosis. So, but I will kind of give you an idea of what you would do at this time. Okay, now we're going to do it one more time. So you're going to start the same way that you did before. So you're going to pick a spot to focus your attention on, put your eyes on one spot. And then you are going to take those nice 3 comfortable breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. This is called a signal breath. So we're changing the way that we normally breathe to give a signal to the subconscious mind that we're ready to go in. And at the end of that third exhale, you're going to gently allow your eyes to close. Now you're going to once again bring your attention to the top of your head. And you're going to begin to repeat the physical word in your mind. So if your word was heavy, you're just going to start in your own mind, in your own voice, saying heavy, 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 or whatever your word was. And you're just going to keep repeating the word. You're going to say the word in your mind, and you're going to feel that feeling in your body, and you're going to flow that feeling down through your body from your head all the way down to your toes. So connecting with that feeling and flowing the feeling down through the whole body. Now you're going to count from 5 down to 0. Now you're going to start to say the emotional word. Maybe it's peace, maybe it's calmness, whatever was the emotional word that you picked. And you're just going to repeat that word, peace, peace. And really try to feel that feeling, that wonderful positive emotion. You might imagine it just moving in and out from your heart space, kind of infusing the area around you. You might imagine it wrapped all around you like a cozy blanket. You might um, imagine times in your life where you felt this feeling before, places that you felt it, people that you felt it with, positive memories that you experienced this emotion. This is a wonderful way to learn to connect with a positive emotion. It's a really wonderful gift to give yourself. So just try to feel that feeling even more profoundly. When you really feel the feeling and you've connected with it, now you're going to count down from 20. So you can either imagine that beautiful metaphorical staircase or that beautiful path, or you can just count. And every count is going to deepen the physical and the very wonderful emotional feeling, starting at 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then 0, you're going to say in your mind, deep sleep. Now, at this point, you will give yourself your suggestions about sleeping better or feeling better or releasing stress. I eat 3 healthy meals a day. I am giving and receiving intimate love. I enjoy setting and achieving all my goals. I'm confident in my abilities. I'm relaxed and allowing success to come to me each and every day. I am calm, secure, and relaxed. I'm becoming more assertive and confident when I speak to colleagues. Whatever it is that you prepared for yourself, you're going to repeat it several times with feeling. You're going to know that it's important to you. You have to feel it. You have to make it realistic as possible. You can use any or all of the senses to really make this experience as broad as you can. And then once you've repeated it several times and you've connected and you feel it, to wake yourself up, use a count from 0 up to 5, and then say eyes open, wide awake. So go ahead and count yourselves up now. Just to be diligent, I will also do a count up since we're online. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, wide awake. So now I'm just going to reiterate the process. Like I said, I will put this into a handout for you. Um, Usually what happens is this: you learn self-hypnosis, you think, huh, that felt pretty good, cool, what can I apply this to? Amazing. And then you go home and you put yourself in and you're like, okay, cool, cool, cool. And then once you get to the suggestion part, that's where we kind of, what do I do now? It is perfectly okay. Plan it out ahead. So if you have a list of 10 things that you would like to change in your life, maybe pick the easiest thing. Start with a simple thing so that you want to practice. Reducing stress is always good. And get your suggestions prepared ahead of time. I usually recommend 2, like say 2 different sentences, one that's pretty on the nose and one that is maybe a little more open to interpretation. So something pretty literal, like I eat 3 healthy meals a day. That's pretty literal. And you could combine that with, for example, I enjoy setting and achieving all my goals because the eating 3 meals a day was the goal. So that works together, but it also is open to other wonderful things in your life because it's a little uh, open into interpretation. It's a little vague. Okay. So um, you can prep them, you can write them down, and you can look at your cheat sheet and you can open your eyes and look at the cheat sheet and look at your suggestions and then close your eyes again and go back in. It will not hurt. In fact, it can only help. That's something we sometimes do on purpose in hypnosis. We have open your eyes and close them again. That's an automatic deepener. So it's actually great if you do that. Um, so the process, once again, you're in a semi-comfortable position. We don't want to be super lying down on our most comfortable blanket, couch. You will fall asleep and then you can't give yourself suggestions because you're asleep. So semi-comfortable is best. I also do recommend that you set a timer. There is something called time distortion in hypnosis. It is hard to tell. Have you been in for 5 minutes or 5 hours? So we don't know, especially if you're very busy. Those of you who weren't here yet, or I maybe hadn't started the recording yet, but when I was doing self-hypnosis very seriously, I did 20 minutes 3 times a day, and I did set a timer so that you can always go back in if you're not done, or sometimes you don't make it through the whole timer. But one time my timer didn't go off and I was in hypnosis for 45 minutes, which was delightful. But sometimes we have things we need to do. Now I have an internal timer that just tells me because I use the timer so much and I do hypnosis for a living. So I kind of know when 20 minutes has gone by. But it's a good idea just so you have the peace of mind to know that if you have other things to do, you're not hypnotizing yourself for hours at a time. So then you get your timer, you get your suggestions ready, you get your semi-comfortable position. You're going to start with focusing your eyes. That's called an eye fascination if you want to get technical about it. So just pick one spot, look at that one spot, take in those 3 nice, deep, comfortable breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. That's just the signal breath. We're breathing a little differently. It's telling the subconscious mind, I am in charge of you today instead of you are in charge of me. I'm the boss of my body and my brain. Then you're going to focus on the top of your head, and then you're going to use your word, whatever was your word, your physical word, and you just keep repeating that word. Mine is heavy in real life, so I use it as an example all the time. So you're just gonna have your eyes closed there and you're gonna be like, heavy, heavy, heavy. And you just flow it through your body. For those of you who have done hypnosis with me before, you do know what that feels like. And you can kind of just go through each and every body part from the top down to the bottom. If you practice enough, you'll also just know when you're there. You'll recognize when it feels the way it's supposed to feel. And at that point, you're going to count backwards, 5 down to 0. And now, once you get to the 0, that's my favorite part, is connecting with the positive emotional feeling. So mine is peace. So I like to think about peace radiating in and out from my heart space. You might imagine it kind of wrapped all around you, like that cozy blanket. You might think about things that make you feel peaceful or happy or whatever is your word. Um, and just really, that's the most important part. What I love about this method is it brings in your physical side, your emotional side, and your intellectual side. That's why I use this way. So it's really powerful, and the feeling is the motor for that car. The more you feel that positive feeling, it's easier to make those suggestions that you give yourself feel really powerful and meaningful to you. And once you really feel it, you connect with it, you're going to walk down your imaginary staircase or your path, or you could just count. Mind likes imagery. So if we visualize stairs, Nice, beautiful, secure, metaphorical staircase. It can't trip. But if you have any fear of stairs or unpleasant association with stairs, use a path. A path is also a wonderful metaphor for the subconscious mind. We're moving forward, we're going somewhere beautiful, new, and exciting. So you're going to count from 20 down to 0. Then you're going to say deep sleep. That's the intellectual keyword that says, now I'm in hypnosis. And now you give yourself your suggestions that you prepare ahead of time with feeling. Know that you mean it. Know that it's important to you. Know why. If you don't know why, you have some other work to do, probably with a professional before self-hypnosis can help you. But um, if you have worked with me, you know I'm pretty goofy in hypnosis. I tend to be very melodramatic. I tend to be really big emotions, big words, big I talk really fast sometimes because I want you to be having that visceral experience. So you could do the same thing for yourself. You're not just going to sit there and be like, oh, yes, as I go to sleep tonight, I'm going to allow myself to sleep really good. Your mind's going to be like, okay, I don't care. So you have to really mean it, put some fire behind those words. Be like, you know what? I love going to bed and getting in and sleeping calmly, and I feel great in the morning, and I wake up feeling refreshed and have nice dreams when I sleep deeply. It's cozy to be in my bed. That feels better to your brain. Now, of course, I'm doing kind of elevated. When you're a beginner, you're going to just repeat the same sentence over and over again, but I'm showing you what it can be like. And once you've repeated your suggestions several times, I enjoy setting and achieving all my goals. I enjoy setting and achieving all my goals. I love getting so many things done. You see, when we do it like that, you repeat it a couple times, you say it with feeling. Now you can wake yourself back up. You're going to wake yourself back up using that count from 0 up to 5 and saying eyes open, wide awake. And you're going to say that until you feel awake. You can say it in your own mind or you can say it out loud. I personally will say it out loud when I hypnotize myself because I want to make sure I'm really awake. So I'll probably walk around in like 3 to 5 times being like, eyes open, wide awake, eyes open, wide awake to make sure um, that I am awake. So once again, don't try to fix your whole life in one day. Self-hypnosis is a wonderful tool, but it does take practice. It's a muscle that gets better the more you use it. So make your list of all the things you'd like to improve and start with one and have the patience to work through that one before you move on to something else. Um, Applications, we talked about some of them. Sleep, this is wonderful for sleep. Eating healthy, exercising, reducing anxiety. If you have something coming up, a presentation, a workshop that you're doing, sports performance for athletes out there, this is amazing because you can really think about your game and your skill. Study habits, focus and concentration. Um, and a wonderful way to use it also is to just start your day connecting to a positive emotion or starting your day in a state of gratitude. You can also use it, obviously, ending your day in a state of gratitude, but putting yourself in self-hypnosis and then just listing out all the things that you're grateful for and the things you appreciate in your life. That's a really beautiful use for it, and it can really help you to start looking for those opportunities, seeing um, more things to be grateful for. And the more positive things we put our attention on, the more positivity we're going to bring into our life. Okay. Um, and that's everything. That's everything on my list. If anyone, you're welcome to come off mute if anyone has questions. I think you can unmute yourselves, but if you can't, I can unmute you. Anyone has a question that didn't get answered, or you can pop it into the chat. Are you asking if you should use sarcasm, or are you asking if I'm being sarcastic, Stephanie? Don't use sarcasm when you are talking to yourself, if that's your question. The okay, yes, the subconscious mind does not understand sarcasm, unfortunately. So if we are in self-hypnosis and we are saying things that we don't mean, or we're being sarcastic, or if we're like um saying things that are too outside. I'll give you an example. So we were talking earlier about money, right? Like, oh, I'm rich, but I'm not rich. Saying I am rich is not a good affirmation, and it's not a good um self-hypnosis suggestion, because it's too easily rejected by the conscious mind because it doesn't have any reality behind it. So it's too big of a leap. Or also like, I have $1 million. I really don't. So it's not gonna work. What I could say is, I love $1 million. That's true. I don't have to have it to know that I would love it. I could say, I haven't seen $1 million in my bank account in a long time. Now that's true. So it's kind of a little fun. But we don't want to be um tongue in cheek, because the mind is literal. So we want to tell the mind what we want the mind to do. So we want to be pretty literal, but I do like to do something literal and something that's a little open to interpretation. So for example, um, uh, I, uh, I bring success to my business because I write a blog post every week. Now, I've been working on my blog for maybe not quite a year now, trying to actually post frequently, but it's a relatively new goal to post every single week. So that is a literal thing. It's something I know that I can do that helps people find my website, that helps people learn about me, to learn my style. So like, very specifically, I could say like, I like coming up with a blog post every week. Do I always love it? No, but I can have fun with it. And then I can pair that with um all the effort I put into my business comes back to me, or all the effort that I put in pays off, or for every creative idea I have, I attract a new amazing client, something like that. So it's a little specific, a little vague, so that we can kind of get both sides of our brain. Now, if you know how your brain works, so I practice Capesian hypnosis, and in Capesian hypnosis, we have a suggestibility test. That suggestibility test tells you if you take a literal or inferred suggestion. So if you know that you are a literal learner, then you want to give yourself literal suggestions. Some people respond better to inferred suggestions. So that's a little bit of like trying to know yourself. But if you look, I like to just be like, okay, here's what I'm working on. Let me Google, affirmations for exercising. I don't love to exercise, but I like to eat. So I need to move my body. And I actually did use hypnosis with my own hypnotherapist, as well as my self-hypnosis, to kind of work on that resistance. So now I don't dislike exercise as much as I used to. I like to move my body. I like to be flexible. I like to be healthy and strong. So that's what I would probably tell myself. So I would maybe not say I find it easy to exercise every day, but I could say I love living in my strong and healthy body. That's true. So you can kind of use your sarcastic tendencies to play around till you get to a suggestion that's gonna work for your goal. But you can always email me. Let me put it in here. I don't know if everyone could see it earlier. This is also the email that your recording is going to come from. So I will email the recordings. I will email a cheat sheet. The cheat sheet does include some examples of suggestions that you can give yourself, um, as well as a step by step. So I hope y'all give it a go. Let me know what you work on. Let me know what you create. Let me know if you need help coming up with suggestions. I love doing that. I'm kind of riffing right now because I don't know you all personally and I don't have a ton to work with. So I can do a lot better with, but there's lots of sources you can find. Please don't use AI. Please don't use AI for your hypnotic suggestions. It's really bad. But you can Google, affirmations for fill in the blank and kind of get some inspiration from there. Yeah, AI is mocking me. I asked AI one time to write a hypnosis script and it was like so bad. I was appalled. I was like, wow, you're bad at this. But that's okay. I didn't want to give it away, all my secrets. Any other questions, comments, feedback? I also welcome feedback, positive, negative, in between. So if you want to email me and tell me anything that could have been better, improved, if it was perfect and you loved every second, whatever you want to tell me, I am. This is another one of my goals is to do more online things. I used to do a lot online and then my practice got pretty busy. And so I was slacking on doing things online. So this is my second event already this year. I don't plan on doing another one until April 17th, I believe. I am hosting another free event. It is with my friend Emma, who is also a therapist and a coach. She works with the nervous system a lot. She works with autoimmune disease a lot, trauma a lot, and we are teaming up to do a little nervous system regulation workshop. It's free. It's going to be about 90 minutes probably, working on your patterns, things like procrastination, self-sabotage. Where does it come from and how can I fix it? So that's going to be very fun. It's probably going to be a Friday afternoon. I think that is the 17th. We will record that as well. And then that's kind of a precursor to a longer event that we're doing in October, date to be determined, but that is going to be a paid workshop. It's a longer workshop called Manifestation Without the Magic. So it's talking about how to use your subconscious mind, your nervous system. So we can get from places like my goal is money in my bank. Well, but why can't I have money in my bank? Like, if I could teach you how to create a 3D object in your hand, I wouldn't need to do this free workshop, guys. But we could definitely help you with kind of the background that slows you down. So those are the only events that I know of that are coming up really soon. But definitely follow me for more. And thank you all for coming. I hope it was helpful, and I look forward to hearing what you create with your subconscious mind. I'm going to stop the recording. Oops.